WeatherScope.
An overnight battle against a snowstorm does little good for Omaha, Nebraska. After 9.5 inches of blowing snow, the word is stay inside. The storm is now heading into the Midwest. Severe weather with heavy rain leaves this flooded scene in northeast Atlanta, a situation that can be found in a wide stretch of the southeast. Good morning. Welcome to WeatherScope. I'm Marshall Cease. Severe weather remains a threat in the southeast after leaving up to 3 feet of water on some roads in Alabama. Many roads are also washed out. For the latest on the severe weather plus the snowstorm, let's join Mark Mancuso in the Forecast Center.
Thank you very much, Marshall. And it's hard to start in one particular place because there is so much going on. The blizzard in the plains, and we have the flooding in the southeast, and now more severe thunderstorms erupting. Let's take a look at the map, and we'll start you with the low pressure center. There it is over southeast Missouri. That'll intensify and move northeastward. Very cold air is dropping south in its wake. We've seen the snowflakes into North Texas around Dallas. Very warm, moist tropical air continues to converge over the southeast, where we have the very heavy rains. Cold core system still over here in Texas, and as this moves eastward today, that will help to destabilize the air mass in the south. And look what we have. More thunderstorms popping up in Alabama into the Gulf. And that's not good news for residents of Alabama, Georgia, and North Florida. As we take a look at the dew points, you can see a little spike in the dew points here in Alabama. That's out ahead of the cold front. So we have the low-level moisture. We have a lot of jet stream energy here. We have a little bit of sunshine, and the end result, more strong to severe thunderstorms. Tornado watches stretch from Georgia and North Florida over to southeast Alabama, and for good reason, as the winds are very strong aloft, and these thunderstorms could easily produce some damaging winds. And just had some damaging winds during the past hour in Coffee County in Georgia, with this line of thunderstorms moving east at about 35. Now looking to the west, out ahead of our cold front, look what has developed in that little spike of moisture. More thunderstorms, and they're quickly becoming severe here in Alabama. And look at these in the Gulf. Looks like they could be destined for North Florida late this afternoon and tonight. Looking at the bigger picture, here's that cold core of air here swirling its way through Texas. That's moving slowly eastward, long and ahead of the cold front. That's where we see some scattered showers and thunderstorms. There you can see the area of heavy rain that produced all that flooding in the southeast last night. That's now marching eastward, and this line of storms is severe as it moves east at 35 miles an hour. Currently severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for Appling and for Atkinson County. Around Atlanta, Georgia, you can see how the heavy flooding rains have moved away, but looking west, you see more thunderstorms developing over here in Alabama, and you can see which direction they're headed. They're headed towards the northeast, so more showers and downpours are on the way, but it should not be the concentrated effort of last night. Now, as mentioned, the cold front's pretty much in this position. Out ahead of it, more thunderstorms developing in southern Alabama, quickly becoming severe. Here you can see the heavy rain and the thunderstorms over southern Alabama. Currently, Butler and Houston counties, severe thunderstorm warnings in this area here and also over the southeast part of the state. And this is the part of Alabama that was hard hit with very heavy rains overnight, anywhere 6 to 12 inches of rain in a short time there from about midnight till about the wee hours. And we've had numerous reports of roads and bridges being washed out in southern Alabama, northwest Florida. So if you do have to travel in through this area, it's going to be very difficult. A lot of standing water and more rains means more problems. Atlanta, Georgia saw a quick 3 inches of rain overnight and early this morning. Here's the video. And you can see with saturated soils, water had nowhere to go, so flooding a problem. Peachtree Creek out of its banks again, the areas around there. And I saw the flooding, and that water will be slow to recede today and aggravate the situation. More showers, thunderstorms coming on in. As you can see, flood watch is still in effect for parts of the southeastern United States. Okay, farther north and west, the other problem is the snow. Yes, we've seen the snows in Kansas. Live reports from Jim Cantori out of Topeka. He's taking a little breather now, but just to the west of Topeka and up into, say, Manhattan, Omaha, Lincoln, Des Moines, we have seen a stripe of some very heavy snows. It extends all the way down to southwestern Kansas, reports of 5 to 9 inches of snow. And howling winds blowing and drifting that snow. Snows will spread their way up through Iowa to Wisconsin. That's in the process right now. And as we take a look at the big picture, you can see the area of rain and snow moving its way up out of Iowa into Wisconsin. Closing in for you right now, here you can see the snow across southwest Wisconsin, southeast Minnesota, and into northeast Iowa. That extends into central Iowa. Travel not recommended. DOT says don't be on the roads here. Travel's down to one lane there on I-35 north of Des Moines. We've had about 10 inches of snow here, still snowing heavily. Services being canceled in the Des Moines area. Omaha, Nebraska, well, there's been about a foot of snow in this vicinity too. From here to Lincoln, services closed here. I-80 closed from the Greenwood interchange on over to North Platte. Winds zipping in out of the north here, 40, 50 mile an hour wind gusts. Drifts of snow, 5 feet, 6 feet deep here. So as soon as the plows go by down I-80, down I-70 here, what happens? Those howling winds just blow the snow back on the roadways. Farther south, well, that cold low swinging through Texas. Hey, some thunderstorms over here on the edge of the screen. But the story has been the heavy snow showers coming on into the north and western suburbs of Dallas. And you know what happens when you see snow in the south. Everybody just goes crazy. So, an interesting morning in Dallas. Well, there's been a lot of cold air building up in Canada the past couple of days. It's making its move to the south. 24-hour temperature change shows us the dramatic drop-off in the mercury here across the central and southern United States as the cold air comes sweeping in. Temperatures dropping 15 to 30 degrees in Texas. Look at these temperatures dropping down to the 20s and the teens. Winds, they are howling around that storm. Look at the winds here. And the winds have been gusting up to 50 miles an hour all the way from Wisconsin into Texas. So that's driving down the wind chills 10 to 20 below zero. Wow. If you're away from your television, visit our online site, weather.com. Now here's Marshall with more.
Thanks, Mark. You know, one of the other things that wind is helping to foment is the west basin of the Lake Erie, that is, where we've got some water that is very, very high and being welled up against the shores, and they expect some beach erosion that could be significant today because of that. Let's take a look at the northeast, what you can expect also in the northwest, and where the weather's not too bad. We've had a lot of snow out in Salt Lake City over the last week, haven't we? Well, we've got some sunshine, and folks probably enjoying it out there now, especially some of the skiers. Skiers, too, in Colorado, some of which may be stranded because of the snow as the system pulled out of the Rockies, had 10 inches of snow in the foothills out west of Denver. Southeast, you know what the situation is there, and this low is going to be headed to the northeast, so the rain is on its way into the northeast and into New England. We got rain in Philadelphia now. It's over much of New Jersey, headed toward New York City. It's going to be a rough commute tomorrow in the northeast, and the upper Midwest, around Milwaukee and Chicago, and then later into Cleveland and Detroit and some of those cities. We're going to see a messy rush hour as well. The thunderstorms are not over in Alabama and Louisiana.